Alrighty guys, as you can see on the bench, I have a new pistol. I traded one in and got something I've been wanting for a little while now since I've been in the 1911s. That is a 2011. Now, real quick, I will say that this is the 1911 Carry B9R double stack by Tisas. And this is, again, chambered in 9x19, so 9mm. Real quick on the case, Tisas always gives a really nice case, good locking, decent plastic. With this pistol, you do get 2 magazines of 17 round capacity, and a nice cutout with a cleaning brush, chambered flag, and a bushing wrench. So, got that aside. Now, I'm going to kind of go over, this is really just a kind of a first impressions video overview. Kind of go over the specs, some of the basic features. There's quite a bit of them when you get into 2011s. And I will kind of go into about where this really fits in the marketplace. But real quick, I'll go over the specs. This is 7.9 inches in length. 5.76 inches in height. Width is 1.5 inches. The overall weight unloaded is 29.9 ounces, and it is a single action 1911 style pistol. Okay, so we got that out of the line. So for those of you who are not familiar with a 2011, it is kind of they're a second iteration of the 1911 design. So it's not made by any of your prime 1911, or it wasn't developed by any of your prime 1911 manufacturers. This isn't obviously a John Moses Browning design, but it definitely continues on it and builds it and really allows the 1911 to quote unquote compete in the 21st century. So on 2011s, as you can see, it is a double stack. So that is a 17 round capacity. Also on 2011s, the biggest feature, which is allowing that, is this. You can see it starts here. There is a polymer lower grip, and that allows the flexibility to have bigger magazines, keep the weight down, keep the thinness down. You don't have replaceable grip panels here. It's really just more along the lines of, like, say, a Glock or any other standard polymer pistol on this end. Now when you get up to the frame, typically on 2011s they use aluminum. Now the Tisas is using forged steel, which I think kind of changes some of the handling characteristics, because this is a commander length carry sized. So you've got the 4 1/4 inch barrel. It makes it kind of, or it's shorter, have good capacity, kind of makes it competitive for a carry handgun, especially people who are into 1911s, also 2011s. So that is a big difference on the Tisas. These guns MSRP for around $7.99. You can find them on the street anywhere from around $6.50 up to about $7.50, just depending on where you can find them. That being said, if you paid full MSRP for this, I really do not think that you would be that disappointed, considering the market of 2011s. I'll delve into that a little bit more down the line. So, without further ado, I'll kind of go over some of the features that you do have that I can point out here. First of all, with this 2-piece grip, you do have some serrations up front. These are molded in. I believe they're 25 lines per inch, and really good traction there. Grip panels aren't overly aggressive, but it does fit well in the hand, and it provides enough. I got pretty big hands, and I can really get around this nice. On the mainspring housing here, you also have some checkering. Also on the frame, the steel forged lower frame here, or I guess it'd be the upper frame. It is slotted for a Picatinny rail, so you can mount lights, lasers, that type of thing on it. So that's a nice feature that you're getting. You do have forward and rear slide serrations. They're pretty thin, but they're sharp, and you can actually get a decent grip on them. So really no complaints there. You do have an ambi safety, as you can see, and she is clear. Safety has a nice positive lock up there. I've heard some complaints from people saying it was a little mushy when you're pulling that safety off, but I am not experiencing that on this model. So obviously safety works good. For this gun to operate, you got to depress the grip safety, which does have an extended beaver tail, as well as have the safety off. Very nice trigger, pretty much just about like any other 1911. Very nice trigger pull, nice straight back pull. We'll go over to the other side. You can see the barrel is as you can see all the way through, very nicely polished stainless steel barrel, and it says right there caliber 9mm Luger. So yeah, it has a kind of a serrated rear sight with a Glockish style U-notch at the back, and then a traditional white dot on the front. Decent sights, I would say. Definitely suitable for self-defense use. I don't know if I'll change them out in the future or not, but we'll see. Another thing glaring, in case you haven't noticed it yet, this is cut for a red dot, or really any kind of micro red dot sight. So this plate is a filler. Obviously, you'd take out these two screws and you would be able to mount the sight right to the slide. The pattern on this, it states on the website, it's a direct mount for Holosun 507K and RMSC footprint optics. So the RMSC is your thinner, like your SIG P365s and stuff like that, which the 1911 frame is very slender, the slide is very slender, at least on this one. Frames are slender too, I suppose. But so I'll see when I end up getting an optic what one I get, but I'll probably try to keep it slender just so I'm not adding too much bulk up top. Carrying on here, yeah, you got a beveled magwell here, decent. You can definitely ride the magazine in. You got a lot of extra room and real estate around there to be able to get into it. Pops it out, no problem. The mag release, the one thing I will say is I wish there was a little bit of serrations on this because it's just smooth. But Staccato is kind of the head honcho in 2011 markets, and a lot of theirs come exactly like this. But that being said, this pistol is compatible with a lot of the Staccato and Prodigy accessories. So like these mags, you can run straight up Staccato mags in it, or a Prodigy. They are compatible, which is very nice, because say these ones aren't working for you. I'm not sure if there is another manufacturer on there, but all it says is Tisas, so I'm not 100% sure on that, on who is making the magazine, but I guess it could be Tisas, but we'll see. I'll try to look into that further. Yeah, that's just nice. You have that commonality. They're really following that 2011 design. Another thing to note is that on a lot of 2011s, the design calls for a bull barrel. This is your traditional GI style. Some people will like that, some people will hate that. You got your traditional half guide rod and grip plug, or not grip plug, Jesus, plunger plug there. And that is serrated as well, or checkered. But the front end of the muzzle looks really nice, no complaints there. So I will go ahead and use my trigger pull gauge to the best of my ability here, making sure that I pull the grip safety to kind of give you an idea of where the trigger pull is sitting. So this is basically calling around that 5.5 mark. So pretty decent trigger pull. It feels really nice. Feels just like any other 1911. That being said, there is things you can do to this. I consider this basically the bare bones poor man 2011, and I'm glad somebody in the market is making one that is under $1,000. The Prodigy felt very nice when I was looking. I held that comparatively, and really they felt pretty dang similar. I think the Prodigy's probably a little bit better built. There is a little bit of rattle in the slide fitment. Now on this, you do not have full rails like you would on a standard 1911. There's, you know, right here and here where you have rails, and it's not running that whole length in the back. So I don't know if that's part of it. I guess I'll find out. But it really hasn't affected anything with accuracy. This is a fairly accurate gun. I'm really excited to get a red dot to put on this. I think that would be a lot of fun shooting. I think this is honestly, being, you know, one of the cheapest options that you have for 2011s. I think it's a decent choice for somebody considering getting into that market. Other cheap companies, Girsan is making a 2311, which is their version. It's a little different. They have their own, I mean, there's positives and minuses to any of these 2011s. But really, the Girsan and Tisas are going to be your under $1,000. Then you get into the Prodigy, which is around $1,300, which is still pretty affordable. And then you're going to be jumping up into the Staccatos. A lot of other boutique manufacturers make them as well. The Staccatos can run anywhere from like $2,500, give or take, up to about $4,000. So really, kind of an expensive, gun to get into. So some of the accessories are a little on the pricier side, reflecting that, I think. And so you might have some issues. Hopefully, you know, with the Prodigy coming out, it will offer a lot more affordable accessories as well with these. So that way you can, in my mind, this would be a good base gun to try to build upon. You know, being compatible with a Staccato, you're going to have, you know, obviously mags, trigger parts, mag release, the safety beaver tail, that's compatible with a 1911 hammer. So there's a lot of work that can be done to these to really kind of up the amp on them. When you're buying this, you're getting what I think is a pretty decent stock example of a everyday 2011. And I don't think that it has fully been realized on the market yet. I think it's really a good step in the direction. 2011s seem to be getting more and more popular. I do wish that it'll continue. Because in a sense, these are kind of a modular 1911. Hypothetically, taking off this lower grip polymer piece here, you hypothetically could switch out to different lengths on the grip, stuff like that, different textures. And I think that's cool. I don't think that's really been hit too hard yet. I know that like the staccatos have a new gen and not everything is compatible, but it is something to be on the lookout for. But yeah, so I really like this. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. I think it's a great starter pistol, especially for a 2011. I think it's going to be very competitive on the market. I've heard fairly decent things about the Tisas double stack here. I have some experience with their single stacks, and I have nothing but really good things to say about them. So that being said, I think you get a pretty decent package for the MSRP price that you're gonna have just off the bat. I don't think anybody would overly complain about it. Yeah, as long as it feeds good. I have only shot about 1.5 boxes through this so far. So down the line, I'll do a shooting video, a short, and maybe a follow-up video of a final review where I have more experience with it. But like I said, in terms of initial impressions, this is what I kind of determined to be a really suitable self-defense firearm. Being that commander size, shorter, so that way you can have a little bit easier time concealing. Got great capacity. There's just a lot of good things going for it. I like the market moving in this direction. I'd like to see some other retailers come out with a 2011 style. That being said, I mean, in that same space, you can get the Rock Island 1911 A2s, but they are all steel, including the lower grip part here. So they're going to run a little heavier. I have a BBR 3.10 and 45 ACP that honestly feels quite a bit thicker than this. So I do like this general design, and I hope that Tisas sells a bunch of them, and I hope that they are going to add more to the lineup. Yeah, so you can get this in a full size. You can get this in this carry size. There's options out there for sure. But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I know this kind of gets a little bit of a bad rap by your staccato diehards and stuff like that because it's not obviously a true 2011. But I think for the industry to grow, you got to have people pushing the market down like this. The fact that Tisas can put together a gun like this and offer it on the market for under $1,000 is very attractive, I believe, and I think that long term, I think I'll be happy with it. We'll see. One thing I also forgot to mention is I'm not 100% sure what this finish is. So if somebody knows, let me know. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's Cerakote or kind of a parkerization or something like that. It looks kind of too black to be really parkerized. But they did a good job. The fit and finish, save for that little bit of slide wobble. It's not super bad. I have worse guns. My Gerson's quite a bit sloppier. But the barrel lockup itself is tight. So that's something to note. But yeah. So hopefully you guys will be seeing more of this gun on the channel. Especially because I probably will add some things to it. And try to, I guess, do the poor man upgrades to try to get the most that I can out of this. So again, let me know what you think, and I'll be sure to post some updates soon. So thanks for watching.